I only did a little bit because my calves hurt.
There you go.
I don't want to fuck my shit up. Go to the hospital.
Thanks for talking in my video. What is going on here? Trying to get myself ready for bed. So I'll show you my hygiene routine. These aren't hygiene videos. I've seen them, we watched a lot of them, but I'm not trying to get into those type of things in my videos. But I feel like this is what I'm going through or doing right now. Like I said in my previous video, I'm just trying to use these hygiene routines and stuff for mental clarity and feeling better and this, that, and third, besides the fact of being clean and smelling good. But anyways, I really like black soap. I've been using Dr. Wood's stuff for years. And this is Castile soap and this is lavender. But I'm running close to out black soap collection. And then I also got, comes with this Dead Sea mud and green tea soap, charcoal soap. All got like a kind of faint but subtle smell. Black tea trees, black coffee, scrub, and this Dead Sea mud mask. Or mud soap, excuse me. Eventually I want to, because I like masks, and I want to do clay mask because I haven't done a clay mask in like years. So I'm thinking about getting some, probably like Dead Sea mask, green tea, turmeric, because I want to lighten some dark spots on me. So yeah. I'd be doing so much go. But I'm taking baths. I like taking baths in the winter. So I have this Dr. Teal's. Oh, just saying, not sponsored. I just like these products. I like Dr. Teal's. I use his Epsom salt. And yeah, so I got this one. This is the black cherry and vanilla and essential oils for muscle soreness. I did the bath today and I love it. I love the smell. It pairs very well with my native soap, cherry vanilla, and some other soaps or body washes I use. This is the Method Starflower, Blue Lavender, and Chamomile. And it's called Wind Down. And I also use the Daily Zen. This one is green tea, seaweed, cucumber. Yep. And I also use the antibacterial soap as well. I'm not really getting into hair. I'm pretty simple with my hair. You see, I have locks. But I do use this rosemary mint shampoo and conditioner. I just my focus for my hair just to keep it clean. And then my scrubs. This is the Dr. Teal's Eucalyptus Spearmint Sugar Scrub. Also like the Tree Hut's pink hibiscus, excuse me. And then I have the off-brand, but still very good. The Tahitian vanilla scrub. And that's what we're working with right now.
They got the
Probably. Hey, I'm in my car. So I just felt like kind of like talking and maybe like give like a little update. What's going on with my existence. I did try to make the Ari Lennox reaction video, but that didn't go well because, I know if I gotta do stuff for copyright music, I have to edit that a little better so I don't get flagged on it. But I'm debating this, just like make it as a story, because it's for a short. It'll be a short reaction, story wise, or in a story post, and you're gonna see how I felt about the album. But I'm probably not going to post it. Because when I do reaction videos to like music and stuff, I like to listen to it thoroughly before I give my opinion on everything, and I don't necessarily need to give an opinion on each song. And I save it to the end to talk about how I felt about it overall. So I just can't really post that video again, so I took it off. But maybe like if I decide to continue doing like music reaction videos, I just gotta just maybe play like a 10-second snippet or whatever, if that, and just express how I feel about it. I just feel like that's kind of boring, and I don't feel bored making it like that. So honestly, I'm kind of contemplating whether or not I should continue doing music reaction videos. This channel mainly is about me living in the Midwest as an independent filmmaker. So I really want for y'all to get to know me in that regard. I just shared like my music. I did the music videos because I love music, and I just like expressing my love for music, I guess. But I mean, you can see that in these diary vlogs that I make in some ways that I will incorporate. I am waiting for my Jill Scott album, because that's a new album that she put out, and that won't be released until like 23rd or something like that of this month. So, but anyways, life is going fine. It's okay. Same old, same old. Just working, trying to save. Trying to find things to do to motivate me, inspire me. Um, you spring is around the corner, but we're just going to accept winter and trying to just chill and relax. I was doing the therapy for a little bit, but honestly now I did like about maybe 8 sessions, once a month type of thing. With this particular therapist, I was utilizing growth therapy. This is not a sponsor. But don't know how I feel about it anymore. I was excited about it. I was, um, you know, in it, but I don't know if it's me, which is probably is mostly me, and not figuring out how to fully express what's all going on with me besides what's going on the surface to my therapist, or it's maybe this particular therapist is not who I need, or is not getting certain things out of me. Like, I think my last session with therapist felt like I was holding back, but she was asking these questions. Her questions will start off like, what's going on, da da da. And I'll be telling her the surface stuff that's going on because, that's what I'm aware of. This is going on at the job. This is going on with my family. This is going on, with my money, whatever. So, but then it's like you are talking to a person who's supposed to spend like 30 something to an hour, maybe should be an hour. For me, I guess this aim is 45 minutes talking about whatever and then giving therapeutic advice. um, but I guess what I'm getting from her or more is feels very generic and like, oh, okay, you just set some boundaries, da 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 da, or oh yes, clarity comes with such and such and such and such, and now what else? What else do you want to talk about? And I'm like, there's nothing else to talk about. I guess you said what you said, and I'm telling you this is what's going on. But I guess there's a stereotypical thing with therapy where you expect a person to ask you all these questions. At least, it's like, what's about? Tell me about this. Tell me about that. You know what I mean? And my mom, she was a therapist, right? She's a counselor, social worker and stuff. So it's like I'm not unfamiliar with how therapy and therapists works. Mom always had all these books about cognitive behavior and this and that. I've been in her office. I haven't, necessarily confidentiality. I can't be in the office with her while she's talking to a client, not like that. But so I had some understanding of what therapy would be and everything. But I guess with this therapist, I'm just, I felt comfortable enough talking to her about what's going on with me on a surface level, but she hasn't really been bringing out anything on a deeper level, I guess. So I haven't felt the need to express anything too personal, like childhood stuff or, you know, but I feel like there's probably is some stuff that I want to talk about with her, but I'm not getting the lead. Like it just feels so weird to randomly start talking about childhood when in my mind, like thinking about childhood, I'm not worrying about that. I'm worrying about my money. I'm thinking about my job. I'm trying to move and stuff. Like those are the surface things I'm dealing with. So for her to be like asking me, "Oh, what are you?" or saying that I think, "Are you holding back? What are you holding back?" After I'm telling you about what's going on with me on my day to day and stuff. Like I'm not holding back. You're just not asking me the right questions. Like I tell her stuff about my mom. She passed away. Da da da. For the most part, I think I'm handling grieving pretty well. But there's some things what around surrounding her passing and family, extended family, and just my overall relationship with my mother that I probably want to talk about that has been bothering me, but it hasn't been stopping me in my day to day type of thing, or it's not a constant thought in my head on a day to day. But she hasn't been bringing that out of me type of thing. She hasn't been like, well, can you tell me more about your mother, this, that, and third, or more about that? her past, this and that. She hasn't done any of that. So there's like, it hasn't felt like I haven't had a reason to express any of that. Or when I bring up my dad and our relationship, it's been like, oh, okay, da 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 da. But maybe it's like, why don't you ask, like, well, why do you think you feel this way about him? Or what are that? And then I can talk more about, I'm not getting that from her. So it just feels weird to just randomly talk about, try to like vent, or that's what I feel like, venting about old problems or old shit to this person just so she can have an understanding of where I'm coming from, I guess. Or just to, or what it kind of feels like, just so the time can, so we can make the time type of mess, because for the most part, my sessions just be feeling pretty short, you know. So I kind of put a pause on my next session. I was supposed to have it on the 4th, but now I'm thinking that maybe I don't know if I want to continue unless something happens from now to whenever, and I felt like I need to talk maybe. But my sister, she just kind of like, oh, I don't think you should have gone to grow therapy, and you need an in-person session type of thing. You need someone who could see your body and your mannerisms and everything like that, because she goes to therapy herself. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe she might be right in some regards, because it's like, it's kind of hard expressing a lot of things when you're talking to someone on camera, you know. And I know this is kind of different. This is me like venting to myself, which I didn't necessarily want to do this on my YouTube channel, but maybe I'm getting a little bit more, I can express myself a little bit more on my channel than what I need, what I'm able to with this therapist. Um, you know, I don't really want to do that on here because I don't know. Even though my channel is Brianna Latrice, it is my diary, my vlogs at the moment, until I'm able to show you my artistic endeavors, my behind the scenes and shit. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking in regards to my therapy. What else is going on? I am losing weight, even though I haven't been to the gym. But I am losing weight, and I'm telling myself when I go under, I'll say here because like we're grown, we're mature people, right? I used to be over 200 some pounds. Now, I am under 200 pounds. So I'm telling myself when I reach the 180s, then I will take my ass to that Planet Fitness and do it for real. I think because I get up early in the morning before dawn to go to work and engage in physical activity at work, it helps me so much to like just lose the weight, because they say it's best to work out in the morning. Best to work out in the morning. I used to go work out at night and evening, but I just be like, that got to a point where it's like, I'm just too tired to go at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. and work out. It's like, dang, my bedtime is seriously like, I get ready to go to bed around 6:30, 7 p.m. It's like, dang, what the fuck happened? I am in my 30s, but it's like, dang, like that was never my bedtime. Shoot, go to bed around 11. Shit, we stayed up till 1, 2, what? Can't do that no more. It's crazy. I did a little bit of rewrite on my script, the other day, because I'm in the world and I'm getting ideas and inspired by maybe current events or whatnot, and or my own updated life experiences and shit. So, and like, yeah, the world itself is a distraction, and it can be depressing as well. Even though, you know, just thinking about the files, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to get into it too deeply on this channel, but we're all impacted by, current events, things are going on in the world, the decisions that our government makes, our ruling class does, corporations, yeah, everything. And I feel like everybody kind of feels the same way. We all get like kind of cynical, depressed, maybe feel hopeless when we see things so intensely dark that's happening to people. May not have nothing to do with you directly, but I think it's human to feel sad and feel fear when we see or hear that bad things are happening to the people. Here in our country, outside the country, around the world, and then of course we could develop a cognitive dissonance where we don't create a separation between what we're dealing with and what they're dealing with. Well, if they weren't this way or that, or that's their country and this and that, like it can never touch us type of thing. Or also we can have a spiritual, religious type of thinking where, there's things, dark forces are happening, supernatural forces, that are happening, and you got to be right with God this way. You got to be you have to be aware of this, that, and third, or to keep it away from you, or they're bad, so go to church and save yourself. I don't know, but damn, it's like that don't mean nothing either. Don't just It's the church, it's the Vatican, it's the Abraham, uh, Judeo Christians. They're involved. It's other spiritualities, like gurus, the people work in the hospitals. It's like anything and everything. You know what I mean? Like you hear about those files and stuff, and they sound so crazy, sensationalized, and you may even think, you know what, it's too unbelievable to be true. It's the shit that you see in the movies, that you play the video games and you're playing that storyline. You read books. It's in the books. They're fiction books, but also there's the nonfiction books. There's not documentaries, historical takes about things like this that has happened. And it's like, I was talking to my sister the other day, and she pretty much said it. I felt, but this is crazy. But what the freak has really changed? Like we're human on this earth, civilization, this history of civilization, the ruling class. Like nothing's changed except for we, I don't want to say come more civilized, if that's just sounds ridiculous. We have it up, evolved somewhat in society as far as our technology and everything, but have we fully evolved as a people, as a human race? Because certain people are still doing certain things that we thought were just back in ancient times. You know what I mean? The repeated history, history, and like most of it, we don't see it in our daily lives, so we don't think about dark shit. We're not aware of it. We just get up, go to work, go to school, survive, buy food, buy clothes, go on trips. Like that's our human existence, and at least in our society. most we're not living in a war-torn society where our survival is a constant threatened. We're not dealing with civil war. We're not dealing with anything like that. And then, of course, we hear every now and again in our news, or maybe even witnessed it personally in our lives here and there, of someone doing something very nefarious, heinous. Crime happens. We're aware of criminality. We're aware of someone taking a life. So, like all that stuff. Like we're not fully distant from darkness in our own lives, where we can um, escape it. But most of us, we're not dealing with that on a daily basis. We're watching it on TV. We're playing games. We're even listening to music, some telling stories of certain things, of things occurring in their own trauma in life. Like the whole world is trauma and pain and suffering, but it's also light and joy and everything like that. And I think how we get is when we hear too much of the darkness and stuff that kind of takes us out of our reality, where even though we may be not constantly feeling joy or pleasure or whatever, we're not dealing with the extreme of that shit, you know? Like, you know, but there is I think, because like, there's some people who, like, why are we reacting to the files? Why are people not trying to do anything? Why anybody not, da, 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 like, if you paid attention to, like, statistics and news and certain things, you know that human trafficking has surpassed drug trafficking. So, and if you really think about this, it is a business. It's a dark business. And we constantly see on the news people on the lower level being arrested, pimps, drug dealers doing that. But it's like they always get the people at the bottom, but you hardly hear anybody get taken down from the top, because this is a business. There's always there's someone or multiple people benefiting from nefarious acts of criminality and living well, living in mansions, traveling, own islands, own whatever, own every fucking thing, but benefiting from these criminalities. So it's not 100% surprising. If you think about it, it's not, it's shocking. And the sensationalism of it is these celebrities being named, and this tech person, the king, queen, and everything, England and shit. But politicians and everything, but religious person, religious, spiritual folks, you know. But then again, it's like there is so much in this world we just don't know, because we're just not in tune with or aware of. And I'm sure we don't want to be. And maybe there is a veil over our eyes, whatever um whatever this is, where we're just to focus on our own survival and growing families or whatever, instead of anything that's too dark that's also occurring at the same time. Then our own is safe, as long as we are still able to go about our own lives and get food, get housing, get clothes, travel, do things. As long as none of those things stop, I think for the most part, people can just turn a blind eye to shit. As effed up as that kind of sounds. But it's like none of us is unaware of criminality, but we're
not too aware of criminality on a higher scale of organized power structure type of thing. And I think most of us don't want to be, because then that's when you start feeling small and like, what am I gonna do about it? How can I stop it? You know? And do you even want to try? And it's like, can you? Especially when there's so many weak individuals who are followers, who want, again, this money. Just people will let anything slide, turn around, not care, as long as it's not happening to them directly, as long as they can live a comfortable life, you know. And maybe that's just kind of how shit has been for since the beginning of human existence. You know. But I'm just thinking about stuff like that, because I'm a creative, I'm an artist, I write, and I know I've written a story that kind of touches on stuff like that. When I wrote my one project in 2020, and in 2020 I was in a dark place, therefore me receiving in my mind downloads to help that helped me write this story about trauma and pain and how people seek pleasure to avoid pain, but and how there's also, while we're all trying to live and survive and get the most out of life, there's also people engaging dark forces, if you want to think supernatural or not. It could be supernatural, it could be just human shit, or both. Who the fuck know? But yeah, I think I'm done with my little rant about that. I just feel the need to say that because I feel like it feels like kind of like the elephant in the room with people, where they've been talking about those files for like years now, and it's just so annoying how politicians use those files to get voter points, how politicians in general use anything and everything, pain and trauma, to get votes, your fears to get votes, and then they still don't do anything different. They just, and then to find out that they are still part of the problem. They're part of the issues that we have in this world. They contribute to the trauma and the suffering that people are enduring, you know?
Actually,
I might get a little bit because my calves hurt.
there you go.
I want to fuck my shit up, go to the hospital.
Thanks for talking in my video.
You didn't tell me.
Okay, say whatever, I don't care. I am. Okay, scratch that. Today's the 14th of Valentine's Day. I worked today, so that was my main day. Just working. Came home later. I took a bath, my self-care bath, love myself a bath. And my sister and I went and got some Mexican food and ate it here, watched a movie, and that was my day. That was our Valentine's Day. For us single folk. So we were just chilling, just kicking it. Now I am going to go get myself together for bed because I have to get up early in the morning and work again. So yeah.